Hello everybody, it is Curiosity and I am back again with our top 16 coverage from this past Saturday's September online regional thanks to Carta Magica. Before I officially jump in, I am recording this on September 30th, and in Canada, September 30th is our National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. This is also known as Orange Shirt Day, and it is a day dedicated to honoring the Indigenous children who never made it home, as well as the Indigenous survivors of residential schools. If you're interested in learning a little bit more, there will be some links in the description that you can check out and kind of learn about Phyllis Webstad's story. Let's move forward into our coverage. So EX7, this is our first EX7 set regional of the year. So it was interesting to see the different decks that actually showed up and how some of them really used the EX7 sets to their advantage. But let's jump into our first place undefeated winner. I hope I don't pronounce this incorrectly. Sergey, also known as Tessero, and his 7 Great Demon Lord deck. So first of all, congratulations on going undefeated. It is so difficult to do in a mandatory 9-round system. So well done. I know you mentioned that you didn't run into any Imperial Dramons. So awesome. We take that as a win, especially considering the last set for regionals was 90% Imperial Dramons. It is nice to not run into any. So that is always awesome. As we scroll down, we can see that even here, Tessero is also using the EX7 to his advantage, getting that Shoto and seeing how versatile this tamer actually is. Suspending it any Digimon, one of your Digimon. It doesn't specify the type, doesn't specify the play cost, the Digivolve cost, nothing, no anything. Any of your Digimon, just one of them, can get piercing and blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. And with a deck that has such big bodies that once they're on the field, if your opponent swings, you can't really block. You have that added bonus of being able to block with them before the next turn starts. So very awesome to see that even in a 7 Great Demon Lord deck that we are still running the EX7 stuff now that it is out and taking it 100% to the advantage that it should be taken to. So congrats again on your first place win, Tessero. Going into second place, we see Brody here with the Mirage Galaxy. So I've played against this once on DCGO, but it was pre-EX7. So I had no idea what to expect. But seeing it as a Mirage Galaxy already is like, oh boy, we're going to be gaining a lot of memory and very, very fast. So that was already looking at it. I was like, oh, here we go. But then we have the Ice-clad Hexablow in here too. And I'm just thinking like, oh, my Digimon can't suspend. And Mirage is gaining memory along with Galaxy. So this is crazy. Let me know in the comments if you know how this happens, like how the line works. But I just feel like if you have Hexablow out and you have Mirage out, you're just not going to see your turn. Like it feels like you're just going to be constantly in the loop of Galaxy just over and over and over again. So with that going on and getting all of the memory from the Galaxy engine, plus the Mirage, plus the Hexablow, this seems like a very dangerous deck to face against. So definitely keep this on your radar as you kind of look through the EX7 stuff that's going to be coming. Congrats again, Brody, for your second place. We also had another 7 Great Demon Lords, which was Benjamin in third place. So congrats there. In fourth place, we also had Zach with a classic Mirage deck. So if you're interested, definitely check it out. And then in fifth place, we have AJ with a red base Ancient Garurumon. So even with the EX7 releasing, this deck is still very strong, even in its red base state. We can see that the Uko engines are still running, and we can see how powerful that this red base Ancient Garuru can be, and definitely a more kind of push forward type of style to combat against other deck styles. So congratulations, AJ, for that nice red base versus a blue base of Ancient Garurumon. Moving into sixth place, we still see Imperial floating in here with Dan. So Dan, congratulations. It is awesome. I think I've played against you a few times in some of our regionals. I've definitely gotten my butt kicked, but it is nice to see that you are still in different regionals and still playing, which is awesome. So very well done to kind of check it out and still see that even though we have our EX7 out, we can see that Imperial is still very, very strong. So keep that in mind when you are going into some locals, that Imperial will still be there and will still be lurking around. The other deck that is still lurking around, of course, is our yellow vaccine in 7th place here. So George, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Congrats on your seventh place as your yellow vaccine. So it is so awesome to see that, again, we are post-ban list and yellow vaccine is still making top. So don't undermine it or don't think like less of it just because we have new support and new other things. Remember, yellow vaccine is definitely a deck, vaccine armor, I should say. This is definitely a deck that has a lot of great cards that really work together. So keep that armor vaccine in mind as much as you can. It's nice to see that they're kind of swinging in this Cherubimon Ace now. They have, of course, your Angelmon and Magna Angelmon Aces in there as well. We can also see that they are running both the Rapid X and the Magnamon X and a slew of option cards to get where they need to go. And the Cody is also interesting too, because it is really helpful to just suspend and gain a memory. So if you feel kind of choked on your memory, it is definitely a good card to have if you're going into yellow. And of course, our Patamons, I hope they stay forever. I know so many people want them limited to 1 because they are such a strong card. But me as my Mastemon player, I hope they don't. So awesome job and congrats, George, for that. We also see Brian with another red base Garurumon that's hanging out in here. So very awesome to see that a lot of the ancient Garurumon decks that we looked at before were on a blue base, and now we're shifting over to this red base. So it's very interesting to see. And then we're going to jump ahead to our Leviamon in the 9th place. In 9th place, we have Miguel with a Leviamon deck. This one is running the Dobermon and Cerberusmons kind of hanging out in here. And we can see that it is a very classic style of a deck. It's also interesting to see how the Lotmon is in here. And our Octomon kind of sitting in here was kind of interesting to see how it kind of works through the deck. So congratulations again, Miguel. We also have, I hope I don't pronounce this incorrectly, Benin, who is also running Leviamon. So it is a really great thing to see that even without using EX7 toys, we can see that Leviamon is still pretty strong in here. We also see Joshua back on the tops here with an Ancient Garurumon. Super awesome and congratulations. And then we have Ariel here with a Fenrir Lugermon deck, running the Luger engine and as well as the Dexdoru stuff. So it is very cool that it doesn't have any new tools, but it's still definitely a glass cannon that can't be stopped that easily. So this deck also has a pretty decent out towards the Hexablow. So it's cool to see that even with, I'm hoping their matchups were pretty interesting to kind of be faster than the rest. And finally, the last one I do want to go through because we have some doubles here with Samantha and Imperial Dramon. And of course, I want to jump through, I hope I don't pronounce this incorrectly, Heen and Alexander, both running Imperial Dramon. But the last one I want to go through is Tyler with the Mother Control. This was the deck we were fearing. The one big scary deck that we were afraid of. If you're following EX7 before it dropped, you kind of already had a heads up on this and knew that Shoto plus Mother D Reaper was going to equal something terrifying. Because D Reaper is already immune, like it's not affected by opponent's effects and it can't attack, adding that Shoto and just being like, I give Mother blocker, having that 15k blocker is insanely strong because not a lot of things can out Mother D Reaper. So managing around that and working around that is very, very challenging. And we can see that they're kind of building other things around here as well, which is pretty cool, and having that mine link and so on, which is awesome to see. It was interesting to see that only one made it into the top 16. And I'm wondering if that has to do with the fact that this type of deck is very good at getting time and tying things as well. So like running out of time or getting a tie. So it's interesting to see that we were so afraid of this deck, but yet still people were able to kind of work around it to some sort of extent, enough that only one showed up in the top 16. So interesting kind of take on it, but definitely something to keep your eye out on and kind of figure out if you can pop the Shoto Tamer, you can probably get it back to a controllable area. But yeah, it was awesome to see. So congratulations, Tyler, for your mother control. But yeah, that kind of concludes everything we're going through today. Again, if I did not go through your deck today, I apologize, but I hope you take your win and enjoy it and take your invite to Nationals. We did find out recently that North America is going to remain as invite only. So all of you in your top 16s, congratulations on your invites. And I hope you have a fantastic time at Nationals. Hopefully we have a couple more regionals coming up, and I'll hopefully get in there as well. Some things that was interesting. We didn't see any Zephagamon, which was very kind of curious that we didn't have any of the, like, that build in there. And we didn't see any Syndrail. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen there and what might happen once people get more comfortable with the EX7 cards that are out. Let me know in the comments below what you think, what you enjoyed, what you were looking forward to, what you're kind of expecting for our next regional. And make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you at the next video. Bye!